Hi, welcome to Electric Dreams. Good news today for those of you that are Trans Am fans, and particularly the guys that like their Barracudas. I'm sure a lot of you have the Scalextric Plymouth Barracuda, the Dan Gurney car. A very pretty car, beautifully made, but maybe a little high and a little tippy. CG Slot Cars in Massachusetts have come out with a 3D printed chassis, a complete kit that allows you to modify and lower the car. Comes in a nice little box. It has a whole bunch of pieces inside, a very nice printed chassis with a separate pod. We'll have a closer look at that in a moment. A good guide that looks much similar to most modern guides. A set of and a little packet with screws, bushings, and wheel inserts. The idea is that you would take out the Scalextric chassis and replace the chassis and the guide, the wheels and tires, front and rear, and gears with aftermarket higher quality parts like slotted parts or NSR parts, and get yourself a much lower, much more well-performing car. So we can take a closer look at a lot of these pieces and how they fit and what we can do. Okay, so I've taken the body off of the car, and now I want to show you a couple of things about it. First of all, closer look at the chassis. Very nicely done, beautifully made in a very tough, I think it's SLS they call it, material that will be very tough. Nice adjustable front axle design, good design for the nice guide. There's the guide, good fit already, and we'll take a little screw that's in the packet. The motor pod is a special design for this chassis. Other pods won't fit the chassis and probably won't fit the car. It is possible to take the axle out of the original Scalextric car and clip it into the back of this, but you're going to have to do some work because there is no control over the side-to-side movement here, and once it's in the chassis, there's very little clearance. So if you look on the CG Slot Cars Facebook page, there is already some information there about what to use, but we recommend that you use about a 15 by 8 wheel and tire and replace these parts with aftermarket parts. The CG Slot Cars hardware is probably a lot better than stock anyway, because they have, these nice little bronze bushings that will fit in there. And not only do they fit in there, but once they're in, there is a little adapter that goes over the top of that and hooks in to the molding like that, and is held down with two small screws in order to ensure that the bearings are very, very well retained and don't rotate. So that's a very, very nice, strong design. The motor pod has holes for two screws to hold the motor in. Again, a very good design which will stop any kind of chatter on there. And then the pod itself has the little ears at the front which allow a little bit of flexibility in the pod, and everything fits really nicely into the frame. So I think that once this is built up as a full-blown car, it will do very, very well and perform extremely well. I can see a lot of these being used in upcoming Trans Am proxies and things like that, particularly the guys that really want to use a Barracuda or probably a Challenger. I think that they'll probably fit there as well. The fit of the chassis into the body is perfect. The holes all line up. The rear end has little pins on the edges of the chassis that will allow you to remove the bumper from the back of the original car and install it on this chassis. The one thing that you will need to know is when you do assemble all of this, that the spoiler that goes on the front, which fits into those holes, will have to be shortened. These posts will have to be shortened by about 2 millimeters in order to sit flush. And you may very well have to trim the edges of that, because once you've got it in, the car is going to be so low that it may start scraping. But other than that, it should be a very simple upgrade, and I think that it'll be a wonderful car. Be very, very, very much lower in profile. The wheels sit higher up into the wheel arches and give the car a lot better handling. So kudos to CG Slot Cars. Thank you very much, Matt. We really do appreciate the work that you do in bringing us all these nice parts. And these are available right now in stock at Electric Dreams. So those of you that have a Plymouth and want to really take it to the next level, now you know what to do. Thanks for watching.